So hello friends, welcome to this session. In this session, our discussion will be on time of supply. We have already covered your value of supply, that is section 15. Now let's focus on in this session time of supply. Maybe it will go on for next two sessions, that is this session and next session. Very interesting topic. If I talk about weightage from your exam perspective, about 3 marks, 3 to 5 marks. If practically importance of this topic, I see what is the importance of this topic. First, let's try to understand that. Okay, first of all, it's covered in 12 and 13. For you, at for you, this 14 will be at CA final level. So, moreover, this topic becomes very simple for you. What is the point? Assume आपको supply क्या है समझ में आ गया. You understood, sorry, that Hindi English language mixed batch also I'm taking na. Sometimes it get mixed. Huh. This is a 100% English batch. I should keep on reminding myself. Huh. So, if this happens, what happens? You understand it is supply. Section 7. Okay, supply is there because you have, say, sold the goods or you have given the services. So, supply concept is satisfied. You are convinced it is supply. Supply is done by taxable person. So, GST has to be paid. You are convinced about that also. You are convinced about value also. But point is, when is supply completed? When we can say that there is a time of supply. Okay, at what point we can say that yes, supply is done? At what point we can say that is called as time of supply? So it is that point when you will recognize that yes, supply has taken place. So you will say, so what, sir? It is so easy. It is easy to identify. But many events are there. Event number one, you gave me purchase order. That is first event. You gave me a PO, purchase order of, you want to buy some goods from me. So I got the PO. Then I dispatched the goods on some another day. Some another day you got the goods. Some another day you made me payment. Now exactly which point is relevant? This will be discussed in section 12 for goods and section 13 for services. Okay. So as on this date, suppose I identify the time of supply is 19th March. So what is the importance of 19th March? On 19th March, what is the rate of GST on those goods or services? That will apply. On 19th March, GST will become payable to government. But does that mean you will pay on every day basis GST to government? It will become so stressful that 19th March, what is the time of supply? I pay GST for that to government immediately. So I will not pay immediately. I will observe which all time of supply falls in the month of March, and I will pay GST for that on 20 of next month, by 20 of next month. So see, tomorrow is what? 20 March. So I will pay GST for the month of my Feb by 20 of March. For March, I will pay GST by 20 of April, and so on. This is a cycle that will be followed. So I have to identify how many supplies I have done in the month of Feb, and I will pay GST on that in March, by March 20. This is what usually will happen. Clear? So that's why identifying time of supply is very critical. Now let's see. So time of supply is covered in which two sections? It is covered in, for us, section 12 and section 13. Of course, of CGST Act. Both of them have 6 subsections. How many subsections? 6. Okay. Now see, just try to understand. Have you understood that section 15 subsection wise? Not only subsection wise, clause wise. Same way, you have to understand time of supply also, subsection wise. See, anyways, you are going to remember all the things. So why not remember them in a sequence? That is the logic. So subsection 1 is introduction. Subsection 1 is introduction. 2 is time of supply in case of FCM. What is FCM? Forward charge mechanism. Means who is liable to pay GST? Supplier. So when supplier is liable to pay GST, how he will identify time of supply? Discussed in subsection 2. Subsection 3 is RCM. Subsection 4 is vouchers. 5, residuary. What is residuary? Residuary means you can't identify time of supply as per 2, 3 and 4. You will apply 5. And 6 is additional consideration. Additional consideration. When do you get additional consideration? You get it by way of interest, late fees, etc. Paid by whom to whom? Paid by recipient of supply to supplier for delay in payment. For delay in payment. Sorry. For delay in payment. So, friends, what we have to do? If I am selling you goods and I am liable to pay GST, I have to decide my time of supply. Which mechanism it is? I am selling you goods, I have to pay GST. Means supplier is liable to pay GST. Which mechanism? Forward charge. So I will go to 12.2. To decide my time of supply, I will go to 12.2. Why 12.2 I selected? Because I am selling you goods. So 12. And I am liable to pay GST on FCM. So I selected. Okay. So I selected what? Subsection 2 because I am in FCM. And why I selected section 12? Because I am selling goods. So 12.2. If I am giving services, then what will I select? 13.2 if it is FCM. But if I am getting services on which tax is payable on reverse charge, then what will I select? I will select 13.3. 13.3. Why 13.3? 13 is for services, 3 is for RCM. So that way I have to do the selection. Say suppose I go to Shopper Stop. You know Shopper Stop? That has departments. So it sells many type of goods. Like they sell footwear. They sell, apparel, clothing. They sell makeup, what you can say, makeup things, cosmetics. So my question is, if I buy voucher of 10,000 from that Shopper Stop, then what is Shopper Stop selling me? Goods, some goods. Yes, so I should go to section 12 to decide time of supply. But when are they selling me? Understood my point? They are not selling me goods actually. They are selling me voucher. That voucher will entitle me to buy goods in future. I will give that voucher as gift to my spouse. She will in future go to Shopper Stop, give that voucher and buy the goods. So she will redeem the voucher. So today what has Shopper Stop sold me? Today Shopper Stop has not sold me goods, it has sold me voucher. So for that voucher, time of supply will be discussed in that voucher is for goods or service. That voucher is for goods. So we'll go to section 12. And for vouchers, it is subsection 4. So that way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is about similar issue. 1, so you have to forget. 1 is introduction. Means section 12, 1 will say time of supply of goods will be decided as per section 12. And 13.1 will say that time of supply of service will have to be decided as per section 13. So one you need not do. 2 and 3, in 2 and 3, 12 and 13 have got different provisions. So we will do it separately. Means 12.2 separately, 13.2 separate, 12.3 and then 13.3. Vouchers has got common provision. Voucher has got literally common provision. So we will mix it for 12 and 13. Residuary has got common provision and additional consideration has got common provision. So 4, 5, 6 we have to study it together for 12 and 13. Understood? So let's start with 12.2. What is 12.2? What is 12.2? See, frame it yourself. Now, what is 12? Time of supply of goods. What is 2? FCM. So, 12.2 is time of supply of goods in case of FCM. It is time of supply of goods in case of FCM. Simple. What it will be? Government says we are not interested in when you got the payment. In 12.2, we are not interested in that date when you got the payment. We are interested in when you made the invoice. So what is time of supply? As simple. Date of issue of invoice. See, some of you can occupy these seats also, right? These at least 3 seats, these. Because I'll tell you what happens. Highways noise is there, right? So if you sit somewhere here or here, any one of you, if you also want to sit, you're okay? Fine. What will happen in 12.2? Time of supply will be what? Date of issue of invoice. Or, see, if only this is said, again, possibility of avoidance will come. I want to pay GST late or I want to pay GST immediately. What is my mentality as a taxpayer? I would like to postpone the liability or prepone. Postpone. I will like to use that money. So I will like to postpone. So if government just says date of issue of invoice, then I will issue invoice whenever I feel. So time of supply will be taken for a toss. So government says wait, what is time of supply? Date of issue of invoice or the ideal date. Ideal date means due date, last date when such invoice should have been issued. What is the, where is the provision of invoice given? Which section? Provision of invoice is given in which section? Documents, tax invoice. Section 31. So last date when such invoice should have been issued as per section 31, whichever is earlier. So now you cannot do mischief. Now you cannot do mischief of declaring the date when you want to. You have to declare the date within last date. That is time of supply. Most simple. Now ideally, when should invoice be issued? When should invoice be issued? If supply involves movement of goods. What is supply involves? Movement of goods. A sold goods to B. From A's factory, the goods are going to go to B's premises. Supply involves movement of goods. Or you are sitting here, you ordered goods via Amazon. Supply involves movement of goods. So actually 90% of supply, or rather 95% of supply, is going to involve movement of goods. Who causes movement is immaterial. But so in that case, when to make invoice? At the time of, yes, removal of goods. Means I have to make invoice when I am removing the goods from my shop or from my factory or from my godown. When I am removing the goods, I should make invoice. Means say I removed the goods today, 19th March, but I made invoice on 25th March. Time of supply will be 19th March, because whichever is earlier. Clear? But what if supply does not involve movement of goods? Why it does not involve movement of goods? Can you imagine where supply will not involve movement of goods? This classroom is sold with benches and with what? With this TV, whatever, board, digital board. It is sold with these fans. So now the buyer is not interested in movement of goods. Buyer wants the goods intact here itself. So supply does not involve movement of goods. So in that case, when to make invoice? Make invoice, yes, before or at the time of making such goods available. When you are making the goods available, when you are giving its access to the recipient, at that time make the invoice. See, if you make before, government is happy. Okay, so everywhere word use will be before. Clear? So example for this, did you understand? Pre-installed furniture is sold. Pre-installed furniture is sold along with immovable property. So friends, this is simplest possible provision. Time of supply is date of issue of invoice or last date when invoice should have been issued, whichever is earlier. And I want to tell you one thing. So which date is irrelevant? Date when you receive payment is irrelevant. Date when you receive payment is irrelevant. So I may get advance today because I am supplying you some machine. You may give me advance today of 5 lakh rupees and you may say give me machine in April. This 5 lakh, today I don't have to pay any GST. Today I don't have to take any time of supply because time of supply is date of issue of invoice, which I will anyways make in month of April. So whether I receive advance, don't receive advance, when I get payment is irrelevant. Opposite can also happen. I sold you goods. I made invoice. I declared time of supply. You did not pay me only. It's a bad dates for me. But already I have paid GST to government. What do you think? Government will refund me? No. What is the taxable event in GST? What is the taxable event in GST? Yes. Basic question I'm asking you. What is taxable event in GST? Is it so difficult question? Basic we have learned. What is taxable event in GST? Means on happening of which event? No, no. Supply. What is taxable event in GST? Supply. All of you say supply. Supply is taxable event in GST. Supplies happened, na? Time of supplies also arise. Problem is, I could not recover money from you. So it is my problem. It is not government's problem. Understood situation? 19th March, I made invoice. That means supply is done. It is time of supply. 20 April, I should pay GST to government. I am waiting for you to make me payment. I am waiting for you to make me payment. You made me payment in June. Still, I will pay GST on 20 April. Because time of supply was 19th of March. Getting it? And worst case, you never paid me. Worst case is you never paid me. Still, I have paid GST to government. And I cannot go to government and beg now that please give my GST back. My customer has not paid. Government will say you can't do business. That is your problem. Supply is fulfilled. Event of taxation was not you receiving the payment. Event of taxation is what? Supply. Is supply satisfied? Yes. So very stringent GST laws. Getting it? Go to question. First question. Go to first question. What we will do? 12 to question on 12 to. Then 13 to question on 13 to. One provision, question on that. What is the page number? Tell me what is the page number. See this. Page number is 20, I think. Yes, 20. Time of supply. Yes. K, a manufacturer of machines. Machine means I have to go to 12. Goods. Having turnover. I am not bothered with turnover. Delete. Delete means I am not bothered. So much data is given. I have to first see what I have to find. I have to find time of supply. And machine I understood. So I am going to 12. It's not given RCM. So I know it is FCM. It's a usual charge. So usually it will be FCM. Received advance. I am not bothered when advance is received. Along with PO, I am not bothered when PO is received. For supply, I am not bothered with value. I am not bothered with when advance payment is received. I am not bothered with when it is credited in bank. When you start learning what to neglect in CA exams, when you start understanding what to neglect, life becomes easy. Have that, very laser focus on what I want to find out. You all complain na, that many students complain that we don't get sufficient time in the exam to complete the paper. You will never be having such complaint if you know what you have to do. Now, if you know that you have to find time of supply, and if you have to know it is for machine, then you know you have to go to 12 to, and you know specific provision that it is date of issue of invoice or last date when invoice should have been issued, whichever is earlier. So I don't have to roam around the park, look involving in the story what happened. All elements become useless for me. Machine is manufactured and after approval has been delivered. Very important, because what this matters. When it is delivered, 25th October. An invoice was raised at the time of removal. Congratulations, you have got time of supply. Time of supply is 25th of October. Balance payment, I am not bothered. I am not bothered when it is recorded. I am not bothered when it is credited. You can just put one note. All other dates are irrelevant for deciding time of supply of goods. Simple. Let's present this. How to present this? Question number 1. See, that's why I'm telling you. Sit here. Because of such noise. Background music. Okay. So, how will you present? First, write provisions involved. Which provisions are involved? As per section 12(2) of CGST Act 2017. Time of, you write full form please. Time of supply of goods, where dash is liable to pay GST. Tell me where supplier is liable to pay GST on forward charge basis shall be earlier of, tell me earlier of what? Shall be earlier of A, date of issue of invoice. What is that in given case? Yes, so date of issue of invoice 25/10, or last date when such invoice should have been issued. When such invoice should have been issued. As per section 31 of CGST Act. That is also 25/10. Clear all of you? Hence, in given case, time of supply of machine, time of supply of machine shall be dash 25/10 clear? Understood? Write notes. First one is that since supply involves what? Since supply involves movement of goods as per section 31 of CGST Act, last date of issue of invoices at time of, tell me, is at time of what? Removal of goods. And what second note I want? Any idea? I had told you already. Yes. All other dates like date of receipt of payment, are neglected. are neglected for determining time of supply under section 12(2). Accepted? Most simple, but asked in exams. I have seen institute asking question on 12(2). Because don't you think practicality is so important that for goods, when will you consider as supply is completed? So they will tell you many things. Neglect. Shall we go ahead to now what we should do after 12(2)? 13(2). Perfect. After 12(2), we should do 13(2). Because FCM we should get done first. So go to 13(2). Friends, unlike 12(2), in 13(2), when payment is received is important. When payment is received is important. So time of supply is going to be date of issuing invoice. Date of issuing invoice or date of receiving payment, whichever is earlier. But see, if you understand this thought process, it will become easy for you to understand the provision. But if you are not making invoice in time, then what is the use of that invoice? Government has given some time for making invoice. If you don't make invoice in time, then what is the use of that invoice? Then in that case, government says you are not complying with the law. You are not making invoice in time. So they will say time of supply is when you provided the service or when you are receiving the payment, whichever is early. What is happening? Okay. This is all what non-technical person can do. Restart the things and hope for the best. And it works. Yes, it has worked, right? Prima facie, it has worked. Fine. So within what time I should make invoice? It is given in rules that for service invoice should be made within how many days? 30 days from date of provision of service. Means what? You are a CA. You sign tax audit report. Suppose you sign tax audit report on 30 September. Suppose then you should make invoice by 30 October. If you make invoice by 30 October, then time of supply is 30 October. Means date of invoice. But if you fail to make invoice by 30 October, then time of supply is 30 September. Go back to when you actually completed providing the service. Government says this is your punishment. See, preponing time of supply is a punishment. Why? GST becomes payable earlier. So what is time of supply? Date of provision of service. If you don't make invoice within 30 days. If you make within 30 days, then government says good. You are abiding with the law. So time of supply will be date of invoice. Whichever case it is, whichever case it is, if you make within 30 days, then date of issue of invoice. If you don't make within 30 days, date of provision of service. Whichever case it is, you have to compare with what? You have to compare with date of receipt of payment, and you have to go for whichever is earlier. Okay. Now, what is date of receipt of payment? What is date of receipt of payment? You will say why this has to be discussed. I am supplier. I gave services to V Techno. I received a NEFT from them. That means money is first credited in my bank account. Then when my accountant checks my bank statement, he understands payment is received. Then he passes the entry in the books. Which event happened earlier? Credit in bank happened earlier or entry in books happened earlier? Credit in bank. So that will become time of that will become date of receipt of payment. So date of receipt of payment is earlier of what? Date of entry in my books or date of credit in my bank. Suppose VTechno gave me check. VTechno gave me check. And now what I did? I took photo of that check and I sent that photo of check to my accountant. So my accountant, very effective, efficient, fast entry in the books of payment. So what happened first? What happened first? Entry in the books. Afterwards, I deposited the check in the bank. Then it will get credited. So government says, wait, whichever is early. We are in a hurry to collect GST. So whichever is early. Simple. One thing you have to keep in mind, if it's a banking service, which service? Banking. Then 30 days will get replaced by 45 days. Like credit card. Then bank has time of how many days to make invoice? 45 days. That's it. See sums on this. Go to question number 8. All of you there with me on question number 8. Okay, what is the question asked? Can you see question asked is determine time of supply of services. So I should go to section 13. Which subsection? When it is not said that it is in reverse charge, means it is forward charge. There is a CA who gives the following details. He has supplied services, means provided services, means completed giving services on 25/10. Now he should have made invoice till what date? He has got 20. He has got time till 24th of November. When did he make invoice? Friends, please participate. When did he make invoice? So how much so obvious you think, still participate. When did he make invoice? 28 October. Is it within time? Of course, yes. It is made in within 30 days. So this date becomes important. Date of issue of invoice. But it has to be compared with which date? Date of receipt of payment. When is the payment received? There are two dates. One is entry in the books or one is credit in bank. Which one will you consider? Whichever is earlier. So which is earlier? 6/11. So what is your finally time of supply? Time of supply is finally 2810. So simple. So write down. Question number is 8. Okay, friends, participate in this basic discussion. Okay. Yes. So what I should write? Section 13, subsection 2 of CGST Act 2070 states that time of supply of dash time of supply of services where supplier is liable to pay GST, isn't it? Where supplier is liable to pay GST on what basis? On FCM basis, and he has issued invoice within what time? And he has issued invoice within, very good, within prescribed time of 30 days. But whenever you give any time limit, you tell from which date. Otherwise, that time limit is incomplete. So, within prescribed time of 30 days from date of provision of service shall be. So, I hope you understood difference between reading the answers and writing it. Every word you focus on. So people take different practice batch, one main batch, no need. In this, everything is covered. So what it shall be? A. Yes, what it shall be? A. Date of issue of invoice. May I know what is date of issue of invoice? In our example, 28/10. And why I have never given you years? Because I don't want to change the question for many years. Till the law changes, I will not change the question. I'll keep on adding questions, but I'll not change this unnecessarily. So if I would have put year 2025, then in next 2 years it would have become irrelevant. So better I don't put a year. I put that cross. Or B point, date of receipt of payment. What is our date of receipt of payment? 6/11, comma, whichever is earlier. Do you agree with this presentation? Therefore, time of supply in this case shall be 28/10, and write note how you found that date of receipt of payment. Write note for that. So date of receipt of payment shall be earlier of. Yes, friends. Earlier of what? Date of entry of payment in books of who is getting the payment. So in his books. So date of entry of payment in books of supplier. In our example, what is that? 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven. Or date of credit in his bank account. May I know date of credit in his bank account? 6/11. Therefore, it shall be. Is it clear? Understood? I already have solved it 100 times, but every batch I want to solve fresh in front of you so that you can write along with me. Shall we go ahead? Next, which we did now? 8th. Do 9th. Let's do 9th. SBI is there, SBI. How many days will you check? Whichever service they give, you will check 45 days. Date of supply of service is 25/10. Date of issue of invoice is 30/11. Friends, 25/10 to 30/11. Have you made invoice in 45 days? Of course, yes. So which date matters for you? Yes. Which date matters for you? Date of issuing? See, this is not expected from a bright batch like you. Which date I should consider? Date of invoice. Because I have made invoice within 45 days. So 30/11. Or date of receipt of payment directly given. Whichever is earlier. So coincidentally it is same. Accepted? Write solution. You all tell me how to write the solution. Question number is, I think 9. Tell me how to start. Can I start like this? In case of banking services, prescribed time limit. It's given in rules, this time limit. Prescribed time limit for issue of invoice is dash days, is 45 days. Is 45 days from date of provision of service. If invoice is made in such time, in such time limit, then time of supply, then time of supply shall be earlier of what? A, date of issue of invoice. In our example, it is no date of issue of invoice 30/11 or date of receipt of payment. In our example, it is 28/10. Therefore, time of supply, right, full form, shall be 28/10. So simple. Is it getting clear to all of you? May I go ahead? Question number 10 now. See the 10. A company secretary provides following details. When has he provided the services? 15/10. When has he made the invoice? 18/11. Is it in time of 30 days? No. So what is the time of supply? Now time of supply is date of providing the service. Government will say your date of invoice is useless because you are not making invoice in time. You are not listening to us. You are not making invoice in time. So we will not give importance to the date of invoice. Time of supply is date of provision of service or date of receipt of payment, whichever is earlier. So it is 15/10. Write down solution. Section 13, subsection 2 of CGST Act 2017 states that when invoice is made not issued, कुछ भी बोल सकते हो, you can say anything. One second. Hello. Last में message. Okay. When invoice is not issued within what? 30 days from date of provision of service, time of supply shall be a date of provision of service. So what's in our example? 15th October or date of receipt of payment. What's that? 24th November. Hence, time of supply shall be is it clear to you? 100%. Understood? One doubt you should have. I will make a question on that doubt in front of you and we'll solve that. What doubt you should have? Understand. Done till this? See, suppose you are running, you are running a banquet hall. You give that banquet hall on lease. Typically, in such business model, you are supposed to take advance. Why? Because I am your customer. I tell you that I need a banquet hall on 1st May. But today's date is 19th March. You will say, is it confirmed? I will say, yes, it's confirmed. Then you will say, pay advance 50% or 25%. So that I will say no to other customers. Getting the point? So I will give you advance. How much advance I'll give you? Suppose overall rent of the hall is 1 lakh. I'll give you advance of say 50,000. And balance 50,000 I will give you after the event or on the date of event. So what is the time of supply? There are two time of supply. One for first 50,000 and another for balance 50,000. This was not complication in goods because in goods when payment is received was immaterial. Here though it matters now. See, if I pay you 3 times 50,000, 20,000, 30,000, there will be 3 time of supply. So the number of times I pay you, so many time of supplies I will have. So I am giving you that example. See, there is a Mr. A who is running what? Business. Which business? Running business of letting out of what? Convention hall. Now he gives service to Mr. B. He gives service to Mr. B. Mr. B gives him advance of how much? Say 50,000. When? On 19th of March. Clear? Now say event is held on 1st May. Invoice issued on say 10th May and balance rupees 50,000 received on say 12th May. Did you understand all the dates? In this case, question is what is time of supply? My first question to you is what is value of supply? What is value of supply in this case? 1 lakh. Value of supply is 1 lakh because advance is of 50k and balance is of 50k. So total, do I agree that total VOS means value of supply is 1 lakh, but there is no single time of supply. There are two time of supply. Why there are two time of supply? Because there are two different dates of receipt of payment. What are two different dates of receipt of payment? Very good. 19th of March 20 whatever it is and 12th of May. Do you agree with me, all of you? Do you agree? Here it is how much? 50,000. You are calling it as advance, and balance is 50,000. Now, what is the time of supply? Don't leave your basics. Have you made invoice within 30 days? First, you have to tell me that. When did event took place? 1st May. When is the invoice issued? 10th May. Is it within time? Yes, it is within 30 days. So, can I say that invoice is issued within 30 days? Therefore, time of supply is within 30 days of provision of service. Therefore, time of supply is earlier of, tell me earlier of what? Tell me confidently, earlier of what? Friends, I expect from you. Date of issue of invoice or receipt of payment. So don't you think this funda will apply in evaluating both the cases? So can you tell me what is date of issue of invoice? In both the cases? Of course, yes. Invoice is so common only. So it is 10th of May. Here also 10th of May. And what is date of receipt of payment? Yes, friends. What is date of receipt of payment? 19th March, and here 12th May. So now can you tell me what are the time of supplies? It becomes so easy. Pick up whichever is earlier. 19th March is time of supply for the advance of 50,000. And for balance 50,000, literally exam question. Even at final level, such questions are asked. Keep your mind cool. Just focus on basics. We have just focused on basics. Is invoice issued within 30 days? Just answer that question. If you get that question, if you get that solution, then you can easily check two dates. If third payment was received, no problem. Decide three dates as time of supply on same funda. So this is directly your thought process. This is value. Getting it? Have you presented this in notebook or yet to present? Present it? Anyone yet to present? Should I wait? Tell me something. Should I wait? Should I go ahead? What should I take this silence as? From which point I should wait if I have to wait? From the beginning or beginning? Okay. I'm waiting. Go ahead. डन, मे आई गो अहेड? कहाँ तक हुआ है? Have you taken all facts of the example? Don't keep me guessing, tell me. And don't compromise also on writing this example. It's very important example. Facts are done. Go to the solution part. This was our thought process. This was our thought process. This is done. Is this done? Now go ahead and write further thought process of how you bifurcated 1 lakh's value. Done. Now go ahead and show this two different dates of receipts of payment. Scroll down. So what is time of supply? Go and decide time of supply. Is it done? Go ahead and write time of supply and end this solution. After this, what we should do? Logically, we did 12 2, then we did 13 2. Now what we should do? 12 3 logically. But 13 2 has a proviso. 13 2 has a, yes. So what is this proviso of 13 2? Very practical and very nice proviso, worth appreciating what they are trying to say. Okay, what happened? There is Airtel. Okay, there is Airtel, and Airtel made a bill on me. Airtel made a bill on me. It's a postpaid connection. So for postpaid connection, they made a bill on me. For postpaid connection, they made a bill on me. Say on 1st of April 2025, they made a bill on me of 2,890 rupees. How much? 2,890 rupees. Say they are very effective. This is bill for the month of March. Clear till this point? Now what happened? I am traveling and now I suddenly realize I have to pay this bill. And now I forgot the amount. I don't have patience to check. But I remembered it's 2,800 and something. I don't want to take risk of defaulting. So what happens? What happens on 15th of April 2025? I pay rupees 3,000. I pay rupees 3,000. I have paid advance. Without my knowing, I have paid advance. Because how much extra I have paid? How much extra I have paid? 110. What will happen with this? 110 is my like wastage, or will it get adjusted? Huh? It will get adjusted in next invoice. In short, Airtel, Airtel Limited, Bharti Airtel Limited has today received advance of 110. They should actually pay GST on this immediately. Time of supply will be when that advance is actually received. That is 15 April. Isn't it? Tell me now, how much is the value of supply in this case? Actually, value of supply is 2890 and advance is how much? Advance is 110. For this 2890, time of supply is 14, date of issue of invoice. But what about time of supply of this? My question is time of supply of this advance of 110. So friends, if you strictly follow 13.2, then time of supply will be 15.4. Why 15.4? Date of receipt of payment. Because see, I will go in sequence. When will I make invoice against this? This will adjusted in the month of April. Invoice for this will be made on 1st May. 1st May is date of what? Invoice. When this 110 will be adjusted. So that, or yes, date of payment 15th April, whichever is earlier. So it will be 15/4. Headache na headache. This is headache for companies like Airtel. Why it is headache? Because you got bill of 1996.5. You paid 2000. Advance is 3.5 rupees. What is the intention? Is your intention to pay the advance? Was my intention to pay the advance? What were our intention? Our intention were convenience. In our convenience, they are getting so much inconvenience because they have to identify this time of supply in between only. So government has given one option. What option government has given? Government says follow what? Follow proviso to section 13(2). Follow this. Following this is compulsory or optional? Following this is optional. Government says in this case time of supply will be equal to date of issue of what? Date of issue of invoice. What is the date of issue of invoice? In our example, it is 1st of May. So Airtel doesn't have to take tension of these advances. But condition is that when will this proviso apply? This proviso will apply if advance is less than or equal to rupees. How much? Makes sense? If I got bill of 2890 but I paid 5000, then government says don't follow proviso. Proviso is possible only if advance is small. Small means up to 1000. If it exceeds 1000, then they have to follow provision. So condition is if advance is up to rupees 1000 and that too against invoice. It's not that I did not get bill and I paid advance. No. Against the bill, I am paying excess up to rupees 1000. Then this Airtel can follow this proviso. Understood? Do this. If you have not written this example, write this example for proviso. So now, when I taught provision like this, one student asked me question. If such question is asked in exam, should we write provision or proviso? Write proviso. You have to say that at the option of supplier, in such case time of supply for that advance will be date of issue of invoice. Proviso is good, na? It is made for convenience of supplier, so he will follow that. It can also happen in credit card bills. You think whenever there is such relation between supplier and recipient of supply, that supplier has to continuously monthly give bills. In such case, this is possible. Tell me when I should go ahead. There is absolutely no problem about 2890. For 2890, you continue to apply. For this 2890, you continue to apply 13.2. Problem is about advance of 110. Shall we? GST department of these mobile companies, telecom companies, they would have gone mad if such proviso was not made. They would have to always keep on paying GST on small advances. So they have provided this nice thing. It's almost like we are sitting in mountains. Classroom, if a bit there, we would have sitting in mountains only. But nice, unique. Done, na? Where are you now? Right now? Done? This very important condition. When to apply proviso? When can proviso apply? When can you take benefit of proviso? Only when advance is up to rupees 1000 against an invoice. If it exceeds 1000, directly go to provision. So 1000 is a threshold limit. Threshold limit means for proviso to apply, the advance should be up to 1000. Done? Shall we go ahead? I think all of you have completed. See the question. It is question number 11. You will find it very similar. Very similar, you will find it. Bharti Airtel Limited, registered person means supplier. What is the question asked? Time of supply, of course. For what amount? Excess. A registered person provides following information in respect of regular customer Ahuja Continental Private Limited, recipient of supply. Supply of telephone services for October For October, invoice on 1st November, 4,500. Invoice is made on 1st November of 4,500. Payment is received on 18th November of 5,000. What is the excess? For this 500, what is the time of supply? That is the question. So don't ask whether I will apply provision or proviso. Apply proviso. That is beneficial for you. So what is the time of supply? Date of making invoice. So when will invoice be made? 112. On 112, next invoice will be made. For October, you have made on 1st November. So for November, you will make on 1st December. So time of supply will be 1st December. Let's do presentation. Let's do presentation. Okay. This is the one. Yes, please write it. I have already worked hard for you already. I have already typed the solution. Please copy this solution. Question number is 11, right? So as per proviso to section 13.2, time of supply of services in case where advance is received against an invoice. It's not only about advance, it's advance against invoice. To the extent of 1,000 shall be date of issue of subsequent invoice when such advance shall be adjusted. This proviso is applied at the option of suppliers. Hence, at the option of Bharti Airtel, time of supply shall be 112 with respect to 500. Complete this. Is it understood well? Shall we proceed? Last provision before the break. Now we should go to 13, see 2 is done, 12 2 is done, 13 2's proviso is done. We should go to 12 3. No proviso, nothing, straightforward. 12 3. What is 12 3? RCM, yes, very good. It will be about RCM. It will be about RCM. You identified it right. And 12 means for what? 12 means for goods. So 12 3 is time of supply of goods under RCM. So there are some goods, agricultural, like cashew nuts and all, tobacco, in which there is RCM. So in that case, who is liable to pay GST? Recipient of supply. So recipient of supply is making invoice or getting invoice? Is making invoice or is getting invoice? Is getting invoice. He is removing the goods or receiving the goods? He is receiving the goods. Is he getting the payment or making the payment? Making the payment. So your perspective of looking at transaction changes. When it was supplier liable to pay GST, you were checking date of issue of invoice or date of basically in service you were checking receipt of payment, not in goods. But anyways, here what you will check? Here you will check date when you received the goods. You are going to check 3 dates. When did you receive the goods? When did you make the payment as a recipient of supply to supplier? Or government will wait till maximum 30 days from date of invoice. So, or 31st day means date immediately following 30 days. See, date immediately following 30 days means 31st day from the date of invoice, whichever is earlier, will be time of supply. So they say check when you make payment. They say check when you receive the goods. Both are good events to decide when supply has taken place. But we can't wait beyond 30 days from the date of invoice. That's why 31st day. You will say, where is 31st written? 31st is not written, but date immediately following. Na? So date immediately following 30 will be 31st day from the date of invoice, whichever is earlier. And what is this? Invoice or any other document. That person who is selling me goods, he might be unregistered. So he might not make invoice. He might make some other document. So I should calculate 31st day from that document. Okay. So see question based on this. Go to question number, I think 4 you should go to 4. No, 3. You should go to 3. Very simple. K, a registered person supplied certain goods to G. So K is supplier, G is recipient of supply. They are giving you, you are not expected to know, they are giving you tax in respect of these goods is liable to be paid on reverse charge. Hence, I am going to subsection 3 and it is goods. So, I am on to 12. Understood thought process? Date of receiving the goods is 26/11. And of course, date of making payment, how will you identify? Date of entry of that making payment in the books or date of debit. Now it will not get credited, no? It will get debited from my bank. It will get debited in my bank, whichever is earlier. So here, entry in the books happened on 22/12 It is debited in bank account on 24/12. Which one will you take? 22/12. And date of issue of invoice is 2011. From 2011, calculate 31st day. In short, November's 30 days. So November's remaining 10 days. December, we want to take 20 days. So 30 days over on 20 December. So which will be the date? 21st December. So what is earliest? See, 26/11 or 22/12 or 21/12. So time of supply will be 26/11. Simple. And what would be answer in the above case if the goods are received by G on 26/12? If he receives on 26/12, then what happens instead of 26/11? Then 26/12 or yes, what is 26/12? Date of receiving the goods or date of making payment. 22/12 or 21/12, whichever is, then it will become 21/12. That's it. Such a simple provision. Go ahead, complete solution. Write this. I've already cross marked it. I don't want. Question number is 3. Literally nothing to be explained. Last thing before the break. Question number 3 and question number 4. Presentation of that. After the break at 1:45, we'll complete the topic. So see, already your 8 marks covered minimum by end of today. Tell me, can I scroll down a bit? Like till this point? Yes, so please complete this. As you complete it, let me know who is on to which point. If you're on C point, all of you is on C point at least. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Huh. Complete fourth also, those who completed third. Okay, for recorded batch students, I'm ending the session. You can pause the video and complete it. Thank you.